Hello, welcome back to Just Casting. You're back here with me, Kyle.
Jose?
And we're short 2 members and then up 2 members. So we hit exactly even. We have Dear Jim with us.
Hello.
And our good friend Jared.
Hello, everyone.
So this is our special update bulletin.
Okay, let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Jim is shit-faced, and we just came back from seeing Iron Man 3, minus Jim himself.
Oh, yeah, no, I sobered up. This is me going back to it.
Well, he has a tall glass filled with whiskey.
No, there's iced tea in there, too.
Okay, then.
There's a little bit of iced tea. But
Iced tea and whiskey?
I call it an Irish iced tea. It's Tullamore Dew and Turkey Hill lemon iced tea, and it is very delicious.
Yeah.
That's either like an Irish iced tea or like a redneck whiskey.
Well, no, because there was no... I was going to make a Lynchburg iced tea, but there was no bourbon in the house, so I couldn't do that. So I had to use my Irish whiskey.
And there's no
Not
sweet
that I'm
tea.
complaining.
The South loves their sweet tea.
So does McDonald's.
Oh, the South loves McDonald's.
That's why they all weigh 400 pounds. So if Kyle and I had a baby and then it gained another 20 pounds.
I think you're confused on how babies work.
Oh, you see, Kyle, when a man loves a man so much.
And thanks to modern day genetic engineering.
You guys are never going to get to Iron Man the way that I am right now.
Anyway, so there's our nice little segue into Iron Man. We just came back from seeing the show. I'm pretty sure we all were a little bit blown mentally. That probably came out wrong.
I wasn't blown mentally. I was just blown regularly. That's why I sent them to the movies.
Yes, Jim did not see it, but the other 3 of us did just get back.
So did Alex, but due to some personal reasons at E-School, he couldn't be here.
Why do you say it like
Don't
that?
defend him.
He just went home.
Yeah.
He's sleepy.
So the internet doesn't remove a new asshole.
Whatever. Fuck him. But yeah, so Iron Man 3, that happened.
That happens. It did. We all had very interesting feelings about it. I'll just start with, I have to say, it's the first movie in a very long time. No spoilers. No spoilers. No spoilers for this statement.
But it's just a warning for the entire episode.
But for this statement, just people were silent. Nobody clapped.
There were a couple times.
They tried.
Oh, yeah, there was no clapping.
No.
Oh, shit, you're right.
After the scene after the credits, people were clapping.
Yeah.
And that was, by the way, my favorite scene of the movie. We'll get into that.
Really?
Yes, I'm not kidding.
Whoa.
But no, like after the movie was over, like right at the end, because they did a very cheesy voiceover. It was so cheesy.
What?
The voiceover.
Tony in the beginning?
No, the whole voiceover with him in general, the sequence and stuff. Yeah. You don't do voiceovers like that.
I guess. I mean, I guess should we start at the beginning? Like,
yeah, all right, let's start at the beginning. But just
this whole movie's about to be. This whole movie's gonna be spoiled.
But we'll start at the beginning. But just to start off, nobody clapped, which I thought was because people will clap for fucking anything.
Yeah. I mean,
nobody
there were
clapped.
people that were clapping for like trailers a little bit.
Yeah, no, people were clapping for trailers.
That's right.
They were even commenting on them during the Wolverine.
The best was the Wolverine trailer, Jim.
Really?
Yeah, and in the Wolverine trailer, whatever the story is, like Wolverine goes to Japan, some dude he saved like in World War II wants to give him a gift, and he said he can take away his immortality. And as he says that, he's like, I can take away your eternal life or whatever. You just hear this guy go, oh, hell no.
in the most ghetto voice imaginable.
It was awesome.
Yes, it was. Fantastic.
Quiet for it, too. It was great.
Yeah. I guess, I didn't even think about it. It was very, very quiet movie. There were really no,
like, it was hilarious. Like, people were laughing. Like, it had some hilarious moments. We were all laughing at that.
It's true.
But nothing was raunching my emotions. And at the end, no one was bursting out. Because, I mean, last year for the Avengers, not to compare the two at all. So. Of course, I don't mean to. But I mean, I said, like, I was tears going, clapping, you know. no one, like, not a clap. Not a clamor. Not a whisper.
I guess.
Not a careless whisper.
Not a careless whisper.
Okay, I'm not gonna sing the song. Sorry. Continue.
I mean, I guess we should set it up. But the story is, there's a terrorist called the Mandarin that's attacking.
Oh god,
America.
The Mandarin.
Yeah.
He's just a very, it's supposed to be very, kind of by the books terrorist, and Tony's bodyguard and friend, Happy Hogan, gets hurt, so Tony takes it personally. And
Side note:
decides
who the fuck names their kid Happy?
It's a nickname.
No, it's a nickname.
Okay,
Happy
then.
Hogan.
I didn't
Who
know.
names their kid Pepper?
I feel like that's a more common name than Happy would be in this
Pepper?
world.
Pepper.
No, what's the Miller play with? It was the Happy guy. One of the
Gilmore.
No,
Happy
no.
Gilmore.
Well, yeah, no. But there's I can't think of it right now. All My Sons. One of the characters' name is Happy, or if not, one of those other Miller plays that I can't think of.
No one knows what you're talking about, Jim.
The intellectuals who listen know. Dennis knows. Damn it.
Nobody,
Dennis knows.
nobody who's listening to this podcast knows.
I'm gonna look it up. I have a computer in front of me. While you're talking about Iron Man, this is what's gonna keep me.
All right. Well,
Interesting.
anyway, and the new thing in this movie, which was like the big deal, was Tony invented armor that could like fly to him, like just with his thoughts, and he can control it with his thoughts.
It wasn't mental. It was
definitely mental.
No, it was mental through the injection.
I guess, but
Yeah.
personally, I didn't like that concept.
I liked it, but it was way too big a deal. Like the whole movie was on
I
about
liked it until it kept showing up the entire time.
Yeah, no, like the entire movie was just about that particular armor. And it's like, no, like, he has his gadgets and they go through them.
Yeah. Okay. So it was Death of a Salesman by Arthur Miller. And the character's name was Happy Loman.
Okay.
All right. Interesting.
And
All
that
right.
was the nickname. His real name was Harold.
All right then.
Oh, so still
Happy Hogan's
no-
playing Harold too.
no mother has yet to name their child Happy. So
Well,
feel
hope so.
free to comment on this if your name is Happy and you're listening to this. We want to know your life story.
We're not saying you don't exist. We just don't know you yet.
And of course, make sure you share this on Facebook if your name is Happy. And tell your friends.
And, I mean, there's one thing I think we can mutually agree was what the fuck in the end, which was the Mandarin himself.
Oh, I thought we were gonna get to that.
Yeah, we'll
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
all right. We'll get to that,
chronologically.
but
we're almost there actually. So
Yeah, a
so
little
we're
bit.
we're on the armor
Yeah, we're on
essentially.
the armor,
Yeah.
and I like, it was cool. I don't even dislike it. I think it was a little retarded for him to not have the armor for half the movie.
Half the movie, 90. He was less Iron Man in that movie than Bruce Wayne was Batman in The Dark Knight Rises.
that might be
I
nice.
wouldn't go there.
I wouldn't go that far.
You think so?
No, 'cause
He was not wearing
'cause
the
I don't-
armor.
But I don't consider Batman. I don't consider him being Batman for a second in that movie. He doesn't act like Batman.
figurative. I mean literally just wearing the
I
costume.
know, but like that, like
Okay.
Like Tony Stark is Tony
Well,
Stark. He's
fair
Iron
enough.
Man at all times.
Fair enough. Okay.
Mhm.
And I get it. I get you want to see your main actor out of the costume and running around and
Definitely.
like, you're showing him.
No, and they want to show him vulnerable, which is they did a good job.
And you
with it.
want to show him vulnerable, and you want to have him.
I guess that was a major plot point in the movie. Him
That was the
vulnerable
whole
in suit.
That I really liked.
I loved
was
it,
him
yeah.
him dealing with the aftermath of New York and
Mhm.
like having panic attacks and flashbacks and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was great. The lack of armor was a little disturbing.
For sure. Because what's the name of the movie?
Yeah,
Iron Man.
I know. And I mean, even at the end, spoilers again. When whatever happens at the end, he goes, the armors were a cocoon. You take everything away, I'm still Iron Man.
Yeah.
It's like, not really.
No, it's cheesy like that. Right. Like, that's what I meant. Like, it was so cheesy. Like, he just meant to say, like, I'm still a superhero at heart. We're all superheroes
No, I
at
don't
heart.
think that's what he meant. I don't think he's going to stop being Iron Man. You don't,
No,
he doesn't
without a
need
doubt.
the chest thing.
No. He just meant he just meant you can take it away, but like I'm still gonna fight. I'm
Yeah,
still
I
gonna
guess.
fight the fight.
I guess.
And
I
it
guess.
I think that's what
It
I
did say
took away
Tony
from it.
Stark will return. Didn't say in what.
But he's going to keep being Iron Man. He
No,
doesn't
he is.
need the chest piece to be Iron Man.
Yeah.
Well, no, he's going to return because he's contractually obligated to do Avengers 2.
I don't think so.
Yeah, he is.
I thought Iron Man 3 was the last movie in his contract.
No,
Yeah.
like they knew they were going to do Avengers 2, so Avengers 2 was in his contract. But
that works.
Iron Man 4 was not.
Okay, all
which
right.
is for that.
which is under negotiations.
Yeah, but I saw him on the Daily Show, and he was like, "So is this the last one, or like are you going to keep doing these forever?" And he was like, "Well, this was the last one on my contract, but I think he literally winked at one point. It was like we're renegotiating my contract right now, and like winked. I don't think he's gonna. I don't think it's gonna be as many.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's going away anytime soon.
Nah, I would agree. So from the suits, where should we jump next?
Where were we chronologically?
We were
the
with the
beginning. I guess the relationship with him and Pepper is kind of important.
Yeah.
And it was not well done.
Nah, it wasn't. I think like they did it. It was very funny. They did it well in first one, and the second one they had them hook up, but it was weird in the second one.
I mean, I liked it because he was dying and like kept kind of screwing up the relationship, and it's just the problem was she just sort of disappeared at one point in this movie and
In
didn't
this
show up
movie?
until the end. Yeah.
Yeah, no, she did. Like, well, she was being held hostage.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was unusual. I was just like, what? And I mean, she became one of the super powered
Yeah, the extremist people.
extremist people, exactly. So
But Tony said he could reverse it.
Yeah, but it's almost weird because she beat the bad guy.
yeah, exactly.
Kind of
He did.
cool.
It was good, but once again, the movie's called Iron Man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, we're not going there to see Pepper Potts kick ass.
I mean, she in the book she has gotten a suit of armor at one point, and she was like, I think she called herself Rescue, but
that's jumping ahead in the books, though.
yeah, I mean
They got some
they're
major
doing extremists, so
Well, that's yeah.
I guess we should just talk about the big elephant in the room,
Which is
the Mandarin.
Yeah.
the Mandarin. Which
I respect this play so much because they pushed Ben Kingsley out as a Mandarin so hard. And Ben Kingsley is one of the most respected actors in the world.
yeah,
And you're like, wow, he's playing the Mandarin? That's fucking awesome.
yeah.
And then they just pull the carpet out from under you and are like, no.
By the way, this isn't what you think.
They turned the Mandarin into like this.
Basically, he was an actor playing an actor.
What?
No, he was playing an actor. He was an actor.
Yeah.
He was playing an actor in the movie.
He was playing. He was playing this dude that the real villain got to be, quote unquote, the Mandarin, just on the terror videos, and
Yeah,
he'd like to be this quintessential Middle Eastern, bad guy.
half Chinese, whatever.
Yeah, just
like he wasn't even full Chinese.
to fool the American public, like.
It was just an elaborate plot of insaneness.
It only works for me because the real bad guy was a real bad guy. Like, they didn't
He
make
was,
him
but he's not the Mandarin.
But AIM is just as big as the Mandarin, if not bigger.
No, I'm just saying, but
Yeah.
he's not the Mandarin. Like, he doesn't have the magic rings.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the real bad guy. That's not the Mandarin. That's Aldrich Killian. He's a real character.
Right.
Like he
Yeah.
exists.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, you guys are more knowledgeable in that field than I am. I just knew that the Mandarin ended up being not what it is in the comics.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No,
obviously, he's a Chinese
yeah.
ancient wizard.
Yeah, who has
magical
the power rings,
Yeah.
right?
I knew it had to be something else because, like most, it was going to be the Mandarin was just a terrorist leader because you can't do the Mandarin.
Yeah.
You can't unless you start delving into the realms of magic, and I know they don't want to do that yet.
Uh-huh.
They're still building towards
there was
it.
a lot of teases, obviously, because he was wearing the rings and everything.
Yeah, and that's why I respected so much because they kept pushing you. Like people did not know this was going to happen.
Yeah.
And like
True.
they kept showing Aldrich Killian on posters, and I was like, who the fuck is that guy? Like,
Right.
why is he even involved?
Yeah.
They got me.
Yeah,
Like-
they did. You were not expecting that.
No.
He just had a couple dragon tattoos on. Just slapped a couple dragon tattoos
Yeah.
in there. Like that's the Mandarin / Aldrich Killian.
I don't think he was ever gonna be considered the Mandarin.
No, he called himself
I
the
know,
Mandarin.
he's
Yeah,
not.
but-
Yeah, that was like saying the Mandarin didn't exist, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's probably not going to exist in this universe.
Yeah, probably not. I mean,
That's okay.
But the Mandarin is so not a big deal. He's so not a big character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it's crazy how not a big character he
No,
is.
I mean, they made him a big character in the show. Like a lot of us, a lot of us
Which
know who
show?
he is. The show in the '90s.
Oh yeah, but
That's
because
right.
Iron Man has no good villains,
Mhm.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
0.
That's true.
And I mean, the only other, I guess, one of the other big technical aspects for a comic book fan is the Iron Patriot.
Oh yeah, I was alright with that. I mean, they're
No,
never
they-
going to do it correctly.
They did a good.
Yeah.
I mean, it was obviously it's not true in the comic, but they did a good job with what they did, what they utilized it for.
I guess I would like to see the War Machine armor.
Yeah,
it
no,
was,
I wanted
it was the War Machine armor, just with a paint job.
Nah,
War
it
Machine
is-
armor has bigger guns.
It has much bigger guns. It's not as slimmed down. He's always firing rockets. and
Yeah.
stuff.
Fair enough, that's true.
He has that giant Gatling gun instead of that weird little.
Not that
laser.
little.
Yeah,
Like the size of a fucking iPhone, shoot little missiles.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, Rhodey was good. He was not in much, but
I never had. Yeah, I hope to see more of Rhodey because obviously we don't see him in the Avengers.
I like that they showed him fight. Like,
I think they showed him more than ever in this one.
They did, but
that was the theme. When you're going to go to this movie, the theme of this movie is Iron Man not in the armor.
The theme of this movie is don't expect anything like the last two movies,
which was pretty good
because. And that's sort of why I respect it, because Iron Man 2, what really got under my skin was that it might as well have been Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
It was almost plot point by plot point.
Yeah.
Same story. Like, he, except for, like, the whole getting captured thing. Because, he has to rebuild, he has to go into, like, construction mode. And,
right.
Develop some new technology.
You're right.
And then the big fight at the end lasts, like, 2 minutes.
Here's my question: How long of the gap do you think is between the Avengers and that movie?
A year,
probably a year.
Well, so he built 28 suits in that one time span.
28.
Yeah,
well, 42
went from Mark 7 to 42.
The Mark 7 was the one he flew out in the Avengers. When
I know, but how do you Mark 7 is Mark 7 to what? 42. Right?
Yeah. He used 42 in this movie.
Is my math wrong?
And that was 7 in the Avengers.
I know,
right?
Didn't he just say like 28? Or 20, like
he said that's the difference. He said, how did he make 28?
Built 28 armers in that time frame.
What's 42 minus 7? 35.
My bad. I know my math was wrong.
That was my
that's even crazier. He built 35 armors in that time frame.
Well, he was building that army.
He wasn't sleeping.
True, that's still 35 armors.
And he was obsessing. I mean, he built armor in like 2 weeks in the first one.
Yeah, but
in a cave.
Yeah, with
a bunch of scrap.
Tony Stark built this in a cave. I'm sorry. I'm not Tony Stark.
But I mean, even with the resources, 35.
I mean, and he knows exactly how to build.
Yeah, well, I mean, at this point, it is kind of elementary. I mean, he was kind of just a lot of them looked the same. Like they were just like it was Obadiah's armor, and then another one was just.
That wasn't Obadiah.
No. Like he had like a tank one. Like
I mean, we
theorized.
No, I know, but like he used the design and he was tweaking.
So completely different. It was made for like lifting. Obadiah's was just a giant.
Yeah, we spoke about this when we saw the trailer. We kind of theorized that it's maybe a prototype Hulkbuster.
Well, that's what everyone online was saying. They didn't call it that. I forget what they called it, but it looked more like it was for lifting immense objects.
I mean, every armor that I saw in the end did look. There were different details between every one.
Yeah, there were,
because that's the whole purpose of all these armors.
Yeah, they all have a slightly different purpose.
Uh-huh.
So in the end, there's basically we should elaborate on the whole plot.
Okay.
I'll be honest. I kind of wish they did a callback to one of the older armors.
Why?
I don't know.
What do you mean the older armors?
One of the original 7.
Oh well, they were blown up. They were all blown up in that case.
I mean, that's just me. I would have liked to see one of them.
But why? They all just look the same.
They're all different when you look at them closely.
Yeah, but they're not like they don't do anything different.
I don't know. I just thought it would have been cool, even if it was just for like a second.
I mean, you saw them.
You saw when they blew up.
Oh, yeah.
You got to see them
Mandarin
fall into the Pacific Ocean underneath Malibu.
True, but I meant in combat.
I felt bad. I was like, "Oh, you lost your first armor." Like I feel like you liked that one.
I remember this one.
Yeah, but so his house gets blown up. All his old armors go kablooey.
Yeah, he basically gets into a threatening war with the quote-unquote Mandarin. Mm-hmm. The Mandarin threatens the president and the country, and then he threatens the Mandarin back, essentially.
And the Mandarin retaliates. And Tony ends up in the middle of, like, Tennessee?
Yeah, because he already set up flight with Jarvis and didn't even realize it.
Some strange plot point thing.
You'll see it when you go see the movie. Or you've seen the movie, hopefully, if you're listening to this. Otherwise, we're ruining everything for you.
But that's your own damn fault.
So Tony's suit dies, and he's like basically in this little town alone, makes friends with a kid, calls the kid a pussy.
Yeah.
That was probably one of the most raunchiest scenes.
Yeah, that was crazy. Literally, Jim. He ends up in this kid's like garage or whatever. He's like, "So where are your parents?" or whatever. And he's like, "Oh, my mom's at work at the diner, and my dad went out for a pack of smokes." And he went to
lottery
went
tickets.
out for a lotto ticket. And he must have won because it was 6 years ago. And Tony goes, "Well, dads do that sometimes. You don't have to be a pussy."
He's like, he just flat out says, "Dads leave people
like a
sometimes."
7-year-old, 8-year-old.
It's fucking crazy.
Oh my god, that was.
I mean, the kid was kind of I guess, aspiring genius.
Genius?
He
He had a potato gun.
he was an aspiring genius, I guess.
Based on what?
His potato gun, obviously.
Because he knew who Iron Man was. Everyone knows who Iron Man is.
He literally.
Well, I mean, he did give Tony that one idea for the armor that he thought was brilliant. He never implemented it.
I didn't like that.
Wait, what idea?
Remember with like the cloaking mechanism or whatever? I didn't like that at all.
Well, that was like a little kid. Like, I think that
he
if
said
you
should get but he said you should you should get whatever kind of repulsive. Like he said technical terms, and that pissed me off because I'm like, at no other point does this kid show higher than normal intelligence.
It's true, absolutely. And the thing that also annoyed me was when he was talking to the kid on the phone when he was driving after the explosion happened in the little town. He's driving away. He's talking to the kid, and the kid says. He starts having the panic attack, and the kid's like, well, you're the mechanic, right? And he's like, yeah. He goes, why don't you build something? And then he just has, like, this aha moment.
No, that's a movie moment. That happens.
Yeah.
That's not that weird.
No, but that was also cheesy. I was like...
But cheesy's not always bad. Like, this isn't, like that's not bad. I mean, like of course, sometimes, have you ever had a panic attack? Sometimes you need just, like, that one, trigger to be like...
Yeah. I'll tell you that from experience. Yeah, that's kind of all it takes sometimes.
Well, I found it cheesy. I mean,
well,
those of you who agree with me, post.
I like what he ended up doing, though, is going to a hardware store and just getting everything imaginable.
Making, like, weird little James Bond toys.
That was pretty cool, though. I really liked that.
But, we're doing this so wrong. We should have done this, like, when it's not late, because now we're, like, overloaded with things. We should have done this in some kind of order. Because now we're just going back and forth.
No, but we're not too off topic.
We didn't even talk about the extremist thing.
Well, we can get into that. Because we didn't, at this point in the story, we don't know really about the extremists yet. We just know that there's people blowing up.
Yeah, true.
Kablowy.
But, there's this drug thing, serum.
Yeah.
The hacking of the human DNA.
Some Brumpton cocktail.
Yeah.
If you will.
Is this think tank made by this guy, Aldrich Killian, that developed some thing that could help you regrow limbs, was the idea originally.
Mm-hmm.
And side effects give you superpowers?
I mean...
To some people, and some people you go off like a bomb?
I mean, you could theorize maybe it's one of those super soldier serum copies that exist in the Marvel Universe.
Well, no, the girl was just working on how to regrow limbs and shit.
Yeah, no. Like
Oh, well, I mean,
because you see it with the plant.
That's right. She did it, but maybe the guy who used it derived it to be a super soldier serum.
No, they say it started as, he did it with all good intent. The whole thing was that they all started with good intentions.
But you got to remember the guy who said it is the guy who's implementing this freaking crazy plan.
No, the guy who said it was Tony Stark at the end.
Oh, I mean, okay, I'm confusing where I am. Basically, the guy, I keep forgetting his name. Killian. I mean, does he have any correlation to making another serum in the comics?
No, he does the Extremist Project. That's it's based off of the story. Like,
okay, then. Well, I mean, that's just a theory I came up with. Like maybe they're trying to that happens all the time in the Marvel Universe, doesn't it? They try to recreate the Captain America serum.
Not all the time,
but
a lot of times it's completely unrelated to Captain America.
Yeah. Like, the Hulks are completely unrelated to Captain America.
They for the movie.
That was just for the movie, but like it does happen in the Marvel Universe. So when I heard all this, I thought that's what they were doing, and it was a failure.
I mean, it's not a failure. They were way more powerful than Captain America.
But they explode.
Only if your body rejects it.
Yeah.
If your body takes to it, you get like those extremist people, which they were super strong. They could heal,
breathe fire.
I think that was only him. I think he was super like.
They never explained that, did they? He just vomited flames one time, and that was it.
Just like so you can breathe fire,
and then that was it.
Yeah, I think the idea is that he was his first test subject, and he was he gave himself the highest dosages, and so he became the most powerful, quote unquote. Because the other people, get blown up and they die.
Right.
Yeah.
But so you had fire powers, you could heat stuff up, your whole. Mm-hmm. But if your body rejected it, you exploded, and that's sort of where the story kicked off.
Which the way they explain it doesn't make sense in its own universe.
Why?
The thing is supposed to alter your DNA. If your DNA is altered, then they can alter your DNA to accept it.
Well, no. The point was that the body will either accept it or not. Like your DNA will go unstable if you can't handle it.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you can alter the DNA, you should be able to alter the DNA so it can accept
Their
it.
whole point was that it's not that easy to alter the DNA. It's not like they're altering it or just like giving everyone ice powers. Like it's this one thing that works.
No, like they're altering your DNA in this separate serum, and then your body has to. Like, they're not altering like they're not performing surgery on you.
Yeah, and they're not like picking and choosing. It's just this one thing that happens.
They're just
that's just my 2 cents on that then.
But yes, the extremist people like track down Tony. He fights them without his suit.
Mm-hmm.
That was a cool scene. Like if it didn't just keep happening, I would have liked that. You know, the fight scene in the little town.
Yeah,
that was
cool. Very cool.
Yeah,
but like you said, it just kept happening too much. Then he did like at the mansion with the Mandarin, which I have to bring up. How many fucking people did Tony Stark kill in this movie?
A lot.
He was just shooting people.
He was just shooting people left and right. I mean, he has no suit. He can't just propel them with his hand.
Like, I knew he killed people.
Be kill or be killed.
But these are superheroes. Like between him and Captain America, they have like a bigger body count than their villains. Like holy shit! Especially in this one, the Mandarin killed like a few people every time the bomb went off. Tony was killing motherfuckers left and right.
He was.
I think he broke double digits in this movie.
I think easily.
Yeah, he was not taking it lightly.
No,
he was just.
Well, I mean,
this movie
between
him calling people pussies and shooting them in the face.
The man suffering from extreme anxiety and his girlfriend was taken away. I guess he's not going to be mentally stable.
I know, but this is supposed to be a superhero. You know what? I would not be surprised if this comes up in the news.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, I could see it if parents are.
If it does,
if parents go to see this with their kids. I mean, did you see the first 2 Iron Man movies? They're so kid friendly.
Not the first. The first one actually. That opening scene was not kid friendly at all.
No, it wasn't. But it wasn't that.
It was quite disturbing, actually.
Strippers in a plane.
It wasn't disturbing.
It was.
But it was the most like. It was the most.
The second one was totally kid friendly.
Yeah,
the second one made me nervous. Actually, I saw it. I was like, "Is this what Disney's going to do?" But luckily,
they didn't even have control of it yet.
They didn't. Not by. Oh, I thought they did. Okay,
it was like in the transition of the time.
Okay.
But the first one, like they did the most acceptable version of what they did.
I would say
see people getting like, you see people get shot, but it was sort of like off screen. It was sort of like, it was not.
I mean, he was lighting people on fire when he was breaking out of there.
That, but you never really saw it. Like he would shoot fire and everyone would scatter.
Well, the people got lit on fire, and then the thing blew up in their faces. Like he did blow up those missiles, and those people did die.
But my point is that it was all like that, like far away. Like you know what I mean? Like it wasn't. He was walking around with a handgun shooting people.
Yeah, but here he was shooting them. I mean, there was no blood or anything. He was just shooting.
I know, but he was just walking up to people and being like, bang!
Yeah, I mean, it's like Wolverine in the old movies when he would just go up to people and claw them and then they would just fall down.
Wolverine does that. Wolverine kills people.
That's true.
Yep.
That's true. Tony Stark doesn't really kill people.
Like, I'm not saying he's against it. Like, I'm not saying he never kills people. But the body count in this movie.
Oh yeah, no, but that's but what I meant for like parents who take their kids to see it.
But it's different, dude. It's different when you're walking around like a giant suit of armor and they're literally like Middle Eastern terrorists, and there's this like him walking around in a mansion in Miami shooting people.
Yeah, but that's
and also the pussy thing might come up.
The pussy thing might come up. I hope it doesn't.
I mean, it was the best point.
It was the best part.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't. I mean, just because, again, it is PG-13. This isn't a PG or a G movie.
Yeah,
so
very true.
That's
the argument.
You can't. No, you can't. I mean, and dude, first of all, not to change universes here, but I mean, some of those scenes in The Dark Knight Rises. I mean,
different though.
But still, you want to talk about people taking their kids to see a superhero movie. I mean, if they're going to bring up...
Screw The Dark Knight Rises. The Dark Knight...
And that too,
like the Joker.
I mean,
the Joker's terrifying.
I mean, so like if you want to bring up like I mean, these are all PG-13. You take your kids to see it. You're not going to know what you're going to get. Sometimes you'll get an Iron Man 2 where it is more friendly, and sometimes you'll get a Dark Knight. Tony Stark shooting people in the head and Bane twisting people's faces off. Like it just PG-13 is a very flexible rating.
It is. But the feeling was just. I don't know, because now I'm like talking myself into not liking this movie. I did like this movie.
I liked it.
Yeah,
I did like it.
In the end, it's a good movie.
I think I need to see it again to really make a judgment, because this time I was so like, it's Iron Man agree. Like, I'm so into the fact that it was the next Iron Man.
I was excited. They had the new director. They had a new direction, but there were a ton of things that just.
I like.
We also were tipsy when we started watching, and we sobered up throughout it. So
I sobered up.
I was sober.
I was
by
like,
that
because
time.
as soon as the credits came on, I was
delayed for me.
Nah,
but yeah, I don't know. I liked that. I really, 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 really liked, despite all its flaws, I really liked that they tried to do something different.
I did. I liked that too. I liked it too. I love the vulnerability, theme.
Yeah. I love that they were fighting superpower people.
Yes, no, you're absolutely right. It wasn't just another jerk in a suit who just created some blueprints from something.
Yeah, just copy Tony and had like a fucked up suit.
Yeah, no, it was very cool that they put in super, and the people, looked great. Like all the action scenes and stuff.
Oh, even the people looked great. Like,
Robert
Downey Jr. sexy.
No, that's a true fact.
Sexy.
No, the special effects were like nothing looked like weird
nothing
or
really
unusual.
looked shitty. Like,
it looked great.
Yeah, no.
The whole thing culminates in a big fight with Aldrich, Killian, and his like minions, and Tony and Rhodey have no suits, and then
Ben Kingsley at this point is gone because he doesn't matter. Yeah. He's nothing.
He's like a weird drunk guy that was playing the Mandarin. There is no Mandarin basically.
Yeah, essentially, the thing of the movie is there really is no Mandarin. Which is cool. So they made you think that there was a villain, and there wasn't,
and it was a completely different guy.
Because you had no idea that.
None. I really 100% thought the Mandarin was the villain.
That's
at least,
especially when it opens up. That's all you think.
And he did such a good. I'm proud of them for doing that. Because in every interview and every thing about it and every little article about it, they're like. This time, Iron Man goes up against the Mandarin.
Yeah, right. No, he doesn't. But
that's Disney
the
marketing
motives
for you.
of what's the gentleman's name again? Aldrich Killian. Yeah. I don't know what his story was in the books, but they kind of pulled an incredible storyline where he was a kid and Tony Stark ignored him as a kid. Not a kid.
He was the same age as Tony.
No, was he the same age?
Yeah, he was just all fucked up and had a limp.
Oh, all right. Well, I thought he was younger.
I see your argument.
I thought he had a startup company out of MIT, or so that's why I called him a kid.
Dude,
compared to him, he was 25. I thought Tony was already,
No, they were. The idea was they were the same. Yeah.
Okay. So he's not a kid, but basically he's a littler person than Tony. Tony doesn't acknowledge the littler person, and so the guy eventually becomes powerful and then uses that power against it. Just like in The Incredibles, what Syndrome did.
I guess. It's not really the same thing, because his whole thing was not to beat Iron Man. That's what I liked about it.
No, you're right. You're right.
The first two were so, I hate Tony Stark. This was, this... I don't know why he thinks that, he caused this or something. He was sowing seeds.
No, he was definitely, he had a revenge thing against Tony, and he wanted to get Pepper. There was a
little bit, but he generally wanted to take over the country or whatever. Not take over, but the idea was to get a president that was under his control, and then the Mandarin would be the bad guy, and then he would control supply and demand of weapons.
Right. That's what separated it and made it not a knock.
That was his goal. I think he knew he had to. I think if he could do that without having to go through Iron Man, I think he would have. I don't think Revenge would have been as high on his list.
Fair point.
But he knew he would have to get rid of Tony Stark.
That's true.
He's Iron Man.
And also though, he did want Pepper, but I loved how he wasn't obsessed with her. When she died, not quote unquote died. She didn't die. But
I don't think he even really wanted her. I think he'd be totally fine with her dying. I think he.
He was. He was just oh well.
I would have caught her.
Yeah, he's I would have caught her. He was just whatever. No, I don't know, why he, as he took her, it was a bargaining chip for Tony Stark, / she was a trophy. I think he wanted her.
Yeah.
And then / he just wanted to say fuck you to Tony Stark and take
I think it was a lot of fuck you and also a bargaining chip. Because, I don't know. It just, the whole movie I liked that he was vulnerable, but he was vulnerable for way too much. He is Iron Man.
He is the invincible Iron Man.
It's true. It is the proper title for him.
And he did just fight an army of aliens, and space whales, and this seemed like he was getting the shit kicked out of him left and right in this movie. Like, how did that army not be able to like rip apart one suit of armor when armors were just
because he wasn't
wrecked?
he wasn't as cocky and arrogant, so he didn't have that level of confidence he always had, and like he did in the Avengers.
What are you saying?
You're saying like, well, how he got the shit kicked out of him so badly in this movie, right?
Yeah.
Because he didn't have the same attitude he had in Avengers.
No. What Kyle's saying is because, like, if you saw, like, well, I mean, because they were hot, like, when they touched
They were
him,
hot.
and they
were just sexy.
They were so sexy. They just melted off his armor when they touched him. And Kyle's saying that why didn't the Chikari? How did they not have a way of? And they did. They had like electric spears, and they were stabbing him.
There was like he was fighting a whole friggin' army, and nobody could rip off a piece of armor.
That's true.
Like he went into a space whale's mouth.
Yeah,
I guess none of them reached levels of 3,000 degrees Celsius.
It just seems unlikely.
Yeah.
You're fighting Loki.
They didn't know what he was. That's the whole thing. Is the Chikari were caught off guard. They thought the humans were a weak race. They didn't know that there would be this Iron Man that they couldn't.
I know.
Like they specifically knew.
But my point is
attack.
that this was going like how aside from the armors that he self-destructed in this movie, they were going left.
No,
and right.
you're right. No, again, he's not the Invincible Iron Man anymore.
Yeah.
His armors are being torn apart. He's not wearing his suits. They're exploding. They're being ripped off. They're nothing. They're expendable, and that's not.
He's
the
the
way
expendable Iron Man.
He's the expendable Iron Man.
I misunderstood your question. I thought you meant like just Tony himself, not the suit.
No, I understand that he was not in the right frame of mind, but I don't know. He just I get it. They wanted him to have that whole on the run feel for most of the movie.
You needed a midlife,
which we did not need that.
It's hard because.
No, I liked it. I liked it for like 40 minutes.
I like it, and I even like the movie. It's just I kind of wish this was the second movie, and that there was another one following it.
Yeah.
Because like there probably will be, but we don't know that right now.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, the second one is kind of like the second Hangover, where it just didn't need to. It's just a carbon copy for the most part.
And there are scenes I love in the second one. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love scenes of the second one.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like I said, I probably need to see it again, but
I probably will see it at least 2 or 3 more times.
Anyway, but yeah, like I said, the big fight culminated at the end with Rhodey and Tony having no armors, and then they called in all of Tony's like not reserved. He just had a big like vault of armors.
The other 34 that weren't used.
Yeah.
So he had his old vault of armors, and he had his implants inside of him that he could control these armors through Jarvis and through himself.
I think Jarvis was controlling all.
He was but he can talk to Jarvis through his.
No, he had a little headset.
Yeah, he had a little headset too, right?
Yeah,
and the implants were what let him.
I think those implants were pretty much only for the.
Yeah, they were only for that one.
They were only for getting that one.
For the 54. What was it? What was the number again? 42.
Yeah.
So I mean, I actually don't the scene was really cool.
Yeah.
But I'm not a huge fan of that Jarvis was fighting everyone, and then Pepper was the one who saved the day, and Tony essentially did nothing except build the suits. And
to be fair, let's be fair, he did a lot.
He did a lot, but no. But like when you're viewing this as a viewer for the first time, you're like, what's he doing right now? but yeah, I mean, you dissect it, of course.
But he was fighting and he was getting his armors ripped off. I did like that scene. He kept like ejecting out and grabbing a new armor.
Yeah,
that was cool. But and I think they could have done. They had to set it up differently, but I liked the idea that he killed the guy by sending the armor onto him.
Yeah, that was cool.
And then exploding. I thought that should have been the end. Like
that was
not Pepper killing him, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the armor exploding should have.
But like, it wouldn't have worked like at that point. But like, do it differently. You know what I mean? Like, figure out the time and do it at the appropriate time.
Right.
Because that, that's symbolic and shit.
Right.
Mm-hmm. But I love the weirdest thing was sort of the message of this movie is that like how he was saying that like the other two started out, how the girl was even saying like we all start out with good intentions for the love of science and all that.
Yeah.
It's like, so they're saying the people that started with good intentions go bad, and Tony, who just was a prick, turned out to be a good guy. Like he had no good intentions.
He always has good intentions. He's just a prick in general.
Well, no, but they're saying like back in the day he did not have good intentions. Like he just wanted to bang chicks. Like it was not. Like,
and Stark Industries
like they
was
all
pure strictly weapons at the time.
like
true.
he ran a weapons company. It was just hoard around, and those two and had like no real interest in helping people.
Right.
And those two wanted to help people and turn into villains, and he turned into a superhero. Like I'm very confused on the message.
That's very true. So kids,
I didn't
when
look
you
at it that
grow
way.
up, make sure you have the worst intentions, and one day you too may be kidnapped in Afghanistan. And
Be a prick until middle age and change it all. Like
And then become Iron Man.
yeah, you're right. The message and the themes of this movie were very unclear, scattered at times.
I don't know what the theme was, honestly.
It was very like, okay, so we have the vulnerability thing. We have the fact that Tony is a good guy underneath, where some of these people.
Well, we know.
No, he doesn't get corrupted. These other people got corrupted.
I was going to say, I think we know by Iron Man 3, Tony's a good guy.
There's so many like bouncing around, and I was just like, wait, what? Like, you know.
It was a little too complicated. I would have liked more. Like I feel like it should not have. I feel like it was two movies thrown in one. There was like the Tony dealing with New York movie.
Yeah, you're right, and an actual Iron Man movie, like on a side story.
No, I think that should have been the actual Iron Man movie. Was the Tony dealing with New York?
Right, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm saying like that and another story of this.
Of like this crazy, like weird on the run, like movie, and they shouldn't have been together.
Yeah, no, exactly, because coping with the things in New York and actually like
because you didn't get to focus on it.
Yeah, no, you really didn't. There was the one scene where they had him like flashback through the wormhole, but
I mean, and there was a few like kids kept referencing it, and he kept freaking out.
Yeah,
I don't know, like kids kept running up to him, being like, "How'd you get out of the wormhole?" Like he was always a kid.
It was always a kid that was just bringing up all these bad memories. Children were very involved in this movie.
They were, and I like that. I think the whole idea behind that was that Tony treats kids as like adults because like he doesn't know how to treat kids. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that was even too. There was way too much interaction with kids, in my opinion.
I like that kid.
I mean, I can't really say boo because at the same time there was not a lot. But
yeah,
it was just kind of like what's the deal here? Like, like just make one joke with one kid and then move on, or do the thing with that one kid. And move on. Like we don't need to see a million kids. Like children are not a big deal in Iron Man.
I think I don't know, it's hard because he really wasn't himself. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't the swaggering.
I mean, wasn't that kind of the point though for some of the movie?
It was, but so much of Iron Man is him being that dude.
Yeah.
And once again, with no set next movie, this scares me that if this is the last movie.
It does. Going into Avengers 2 also kind of makes me question
I'm fine with him in Avengers 2.
No, but like, how is this gonna? Well, okay. I mean, all right. So at the end of the movie, after he kills,
at the end of the movie, he kills the bad guy, or Pepper Potts kills the bad guy,
and they get together. And no. So the biggest plot twist is Pepper goes to the hospital, gets her superpower that was forcibly injected to her removed.
Like Tony figures out how to undo it, which we don't even see. He's just like, I can do it.
You know, but that was the voiceover. He just goes, I fixed Pepper. And that's the thing, is you don't...
that did bug
when
me,
you're
actually.
making a good movie, it's
you
tough
show
to
not tell.
You show not tell. You don't do voiceover, because anyone can just do a voiceover and explain everything. You got to show what your character is feeling through action.
I understand the voiceover, but I really thought they were going to... I thought he was going to use the voiceover... Like, I thought he was going to explain his, like, anxiety and stuff through that. Like,
that would have been better.
New York and, like, you know, not obviously, they were not going to go in depth about the Avengers. You know, there were a bunch of, like, little hints left and right about it, but obviously I knew they weren't going to just sit there and recap the Avengers.
No, if he actually did talk about his feelings... Which kind of sounds crazy. Who wants to hear about it? But no, if he did talk about his own feelings in the voiceover, that's different.
Yeah.
That's a little bit different. But he's actually explaining things that are going on, and rather than us actually seeing them, he's just saying it.
Yeah, the end did kind of bug me. They were... So, whatever. Yeah, Pepper gets fixed, and then you see Tony in the hospital, and apparently he has the shrapnel removed.
Which they said would be impossible 2 movies ago.
Yeah, but I think the idea was like he's him. Nothing's impossible.
That's true. No, it's true. I'm just saying that that was a little quick quick to the judge, like all of a sudden 2 seconds later.
I really think the idea
in a voiceover too.
Yeah, I really think the idea was he didn't want to take that out because that was his connection to Iron Man that made him Iron Man.
Yeah.
Without that, it's him in a suit.
Right.
And I think the point was like he's moving on. He's not obsessed anymore.
Right.
And then you see him throw it away, the little arc reactor.
Which I feel like it's going to bite him in the ass. Calling that now?
Well, he can make like 1,000 of those.
No. Someone's going to steal it.
Someone already did.
Maybe.
Someone already stole the design.
I still feel like that was a... I feel like they did it on purpose for it to bite him.
They've already done. Well, I mean, there's now with the Avengers and stuff
Whiplash.
too. With demigod, unless Whiplash comes back, between demigods and sword and shield and everything, like
Sword?
and little, not sword. They haven't brought sword in, but like I'm saying, like they might. Who knows? But between the things that exist in the Marvel universe, recreating the arc reactor is not that big.
Yeah, I guess that's not the highest on.
That's not the highest on the list.
True.
I mean, you could bring in anything you want, like from Thanos to Galactus to the Kree Empire, like none, like. The arc reactor becomes very small once you start thinking, and he does become. And the point of the movie too is like, so with the Avengers and with Thor, and even with Captain America and the Hulk, you broaden it out, and you see that Iron Man's actually kind of small when you consider some of these things. Like you're broadening it out to gods and these agencies,
whatever the Hulk is,
the Hulk, this creature, and then this man who's living through almost a century now, and now you're really broadening this out. And he's really just the man just inventing things, and he's kind of small, actually.
Well, that's, that was a lot of what the Avengers was about. It was, him seeing that there's a lot more. And also, the Avengers for Iron Man was about seeing the difference between what he was and what a hero is.
Right.
Like,
well,
he saw Thor and Cap, like,
yeah.
Doing anything for any, like, Captain America isn't that powerful.
Yeah.
But he would give his life 1,000 times for anyone on the street, like.
Right, but the best part about that movie was when he said, you're never the guy to make the final play, you're never the guy to put your life on the line, and then of course he was the guy who made the ultimate sacrifice.
But and we should point out that in the big fight, after the big fight, when he's kissing Pepper, he blows up all his armors. I have no idea why.
Yeah, it was like a Project Cleanse, and they never explained that. Didn't explain that in the voiceover.
Yeah, I mean, a new start, but does that mean he's going to make new armors? Does that mean he's done with Iron Man for a while? Like, I can't imagine that he's going to be done with Iron Man since they need that.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know what their.
I mean, the end is literally him pulling away in his car and just saying like I'm still Iron Man, and his house is gone, and he's pulling the old robots away.
Yeah.
So they never show new armor.
He has no new armor. He just has the one, and just for comic purposes, he has that one like robot that he hates. The one that follows him around.
Dummy or whatever.
Those wearing a dunce hat earlier in the movie.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
And that's one of the big points we should put out. One of the big pros of this movie is it's very funny.
Yeah, it does have a lot of great moments.
Like, they really, like, I mean, maybe too many. Like,
maybe too many. I was thinking that during the movie. I was like, maybe, I really think I'm laughing too much.
Like, Iron Man is not a comedy. Like,
no.
Not intended to be one, at least.
It's, they all had comedic parts.
Like,
but like, this movie was almost primarily a comedy.
Yeah, absolutely. You were laughing almost every other scene. And, like the Avengers, even the first Iron Man had its perfect balance of humor and action. Even the Hulk had a good, and I mean, Thor and, Cap.
Incredible Hulk didn't have much humor.
It had some. It did.
Not much.
It had some, though. For a Hulk movie, it had some. That's for the Hulk, in Hulk standards, not in movie standards. And then for Cap and Thor.
Cap was very funny.
Cap was very funny, but not too funny. But
they balanced it right.
This might have been too funny.
Yeah, like every scene he was just making jokes, and like we get it, we know that's what Tony does, but it's a defense mechanism. This just seemed like he's pretty good stand-up comedian. Like,
yeah, I mean, I guess probably his way of coping with all this stuff is he's trying to make jokes.
I guess because Pepper died in his mind, and he was still making jokes to alter Killian at the end.
Yeah, when he thought she was dead.
Yeah, that was weird,
and that was not.
Yeah, I thought that was odd.
Like if Pepper was actually dead, like I would expect much more emotion. Like I mean, he was angry, obviously, and like he did like charge for, but he just like there was just not enough emotion, and I
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it was very funny. I was happy it was funny. And there was a lot of action. It was just very weird action, very confusing action.
Very confusing action, very unusual. Yeah, even some of the scenes in Tennessee at first, you were kind of like some of those action scenes in the beginning.
Yeah,
you were confused at like what's going on, who's doing what, like, and I mean, obviously that all gets explained later, but still, you're just like it's kind of confusing to a point where it's distracting, right? I don't want to say not enjoyable, but it's distracting.
And the end, I mean. From beginning to the end of the fight, I really enjoyed the movie. You know, like as a movie, and I liked it. I had no problems with like the continuity stuff. Like I just couldn't care less. AIM is a big enough thing in the Marvel universe that I was like, oh, this is awesome. This is great. Like the whole Mandarin thing didn't really piss me off. I thought it was a really funny plot.
It was a funny plot hole. I was disappointed. I was hoping that they would bring in some of the
magical elements.
But
I knew they couldn't. And I was like, I don't want to see the Mandarin as like
as a person. No, I'm mainly happy that they just didn't turn the Mandarin into a terrorist. But I was kind of hoping, they broke through the seal now with Thor and the Avengers, that they might begin doing Iron Man. Yeah. With a little magic.
I mean, I was. The only thing I'm depressed about is that I didn't get to see Ben Kingsley play the actual Mandarin.
No, that's true.
Like, because he's
true.
amazing.
He just said one line about fortune cookies.
Well, I mean, he played a few. I mean, he did a few of those videos, which were very cool. Like,
they were very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
But,
those would be disturbing for kids as well, obviously.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, a lot of this movie actually was. And Iron Man's just getting the shit kicked out of him most of the time.
He is.
Yeah. A lot of nice Avengers references.
Oh, definitely.
Definitely some nice Avengers references for sure.
Was there one made towards Captain America?
No.
I think there was. There was one.
I mean, there was they referenced New York a bunch of times.
Yep.
He referenced gods and aliens. And, Aldrich Killian even mentions that guy with the hammer.
Yeah.
We had our after the credits scene, which was, a big Avengers reference.
Yes. So my favorite scene. Wait. So now we're pretty much we've capped off the movie.
Mostly, yeah.
So at the end of the credits scene, as most of you who have already seen the movie have seen, that is probably my favorite scene. To be honest,
it was a good scene though.
Tony talking to his quote-unquote psychiatrist, a.k.a. Bruce Banner.
Dr. Bruce Banner.
The Incredible Hulk, who is apparently not thrilled that Tony's decided he's his therapist.
And falling asleep.
Yeah, he's asleep. He missed the entire movie pretty much.
I'm in Sweden.
I mean, okay, so actually something just clicked in my mind. I'll put on the light bulb right now.
Click.
Was that movie kind of supposed to be him just telling the whole story to Bruce Banner?
Yeah, that's what the narration was.
Okay, all
he
right.
says, "Thanks for listening."
I'm not as pissed off about the narration.
Yeah,
I am still pissed that he did do too many voiceovers instead of showing it.
Yes.
But okay, all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's not as
it's been forgiven.
It's been a little bit forgiven because that was the whole story. Because that is actually.
You know what
might
be a slight reason why that happened? And this is just me thinking. Robert Downey did get injured during the production of the movie, and the production was shut down for 3 weeks.
Yeah, they delayed it.
Oh, I thought maybe that in order to keep the deadline, they cut out maybe some of those scenes that they did end up doing in the voiceover.
No, what they do is like they have their whole efficient way. What they'll do is they'll shoot and edit scenes. Well, they'll edit scenes that he's in, and they'll shoot scenes he's not in specifically.
Yeah, they'll shoot every part that he's not in.
So like they'll take the scenes in January that they were going to shoot without him and move them to
because
now.
they still had to keep their deadline, which is the first weekend of May. So
no, I mean these movies they can do whatever the fuck they want if they wanted to.
Marvel's been doing that consistently for way too many years. They're not going to stop now.
But if rather than cut scenes out, they would move it up 3 weeks. Without even a blink of the eye.
They totally could. I mean, maybe they would have had some trouble with like start. Maybe they could.
They might even switch because Thor was done by now. By then, I think
Thor's not done yet.
Thor's done.
Thor's not done, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It comes out in November.
I know.
But separated.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's in post production. I'm sure there's still like editing.
But they could have switched things around.
They could release it if they needed to. Sure.
Yeah, all right. Then I'll give you that.
Sure. But yeah, so I mean that ending scene. Okay,
because that was a long time ago.
That makes the ending scene my favorite scene again now for two reasons. Because now the whole movie you're wondering what's going on with these voiceovers. Why is this like a big narration? Then you finally find out
he's talking to Bruce Banner,
and he's just talking to Bruce Banner the whole time. And
I like
it's part of a bigger story. I love that they're friends.
It like makes total sense. I mean it doesn't make total sense because I think in reality, or not in reality, in the opposite of reality, in comic books, Bruce Banner really doesn't like Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Because he's like the exact opposite. Like, they're the exact opposite kind of scientists.
Right.
And also, Bruce Banner's kind of an asshole. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only problem. That's. I mean, I don't want to go back to the Avengers, but that's my only problem with, what's his name? Mark Ruffalo's, Bruce Banner. He's like way too likable. He's way too nice.
They're making him a likable guy now. They're not doing it in the books right now, but they're doing it in the movies.
He's a piece of shit in the books.
They want to make him a likable guy, and I think
I agree with it.
Doing it right, he can be a very likable guy. Because then you got this likable guy who just wants to help people, who is just cursed.
Well, it's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But the original. That was the idea. Apparently, it was Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. And
I mean, if you go back to the '60s, he wasn't as much of an asshole. But I don't know if he was.
He was an asshole a lot of the time because the whole idea is that it's his the Hulk is his repressed anger. He can't deal with things, so the Hulk just comes out. And,
yeah, he's got a lot of psychological issues.
Yeah. Who doesn't though?
But I like that essentially they're taking out those psychological issues somewhat. And they're just making him a nice scientist who kind of was damned. And
I like it.
I like it.
Makes sense.
But just to sum up the movie, Iron Man runs around a lot, or Tony Stark runs around a lot. He switches from suit to suit.
Yeah,
only the final fight scene, really.
Lots of suits blow up.
Lots of suits. That's basically what it is. It's like no suits for a very long time, and then way too many suits for you to keep up with. And then they all just blow up. And then he gets rid of the point of the Iron Man movies, his whole chest piece.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Because they're really saying, like, we don't know if this is going to happen again.
So I mean, it's actually, so now we're really in limbo. Because we actually don't have that luxury. Like, we had that luxury in the Avengers. Yeah. Like, we knew, like, okay, we know Phase 2 is going to happen. We actually don't know. We don't know if there's going to be another one. So
yeah, I mean, I'm just happy there's another Thor, Captain America.
I'm more excited. I agreed with you. I was more excited for Thor than Iron Man 3.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm probably more excited for Captain America 2, Winter Soldier, just because I like the Winter Soldier.
I don't know, man. I'm afraid that they're gonna do it wrong.
I'm afraid that they're putting Falcon in it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And they're gonna either do like, it's weird to say, but I'm like, if you're not gonna do Falcon right, don't do Falcon. Like, I know he's such a minor character, but
apparently he's such a big deal now.
Yeah.
They need to redo a whole cartoon series and make him a major character and put him in the movie.
Yeah, but I'm really excited for Thor 2.
Thor 2, I think.
But I think we're really gonna miss out on something if we don't get to see those guys all together. I mean, they're gonna do it with Avengers 2, but I don't know.
I think that they'll negotiate a new contract. I think he loves the role for Robert Downey Jr. because I mean this is the role that brought him back from nothing.
He is getting old though. He's 48.
He's getting old. They can make him look younger though. I mean,
I know, but I know, but I'm saying like
he's got another 5-10 years.
Yeah. I mean, 10 years. You think
10 years,
60 playing
58? Yeah,
Iron Man, like
pushing it.
That's pushing it. You're right.
But I don't know.
You're right. The actor that is going to have to follow him up will have something.
That'll be rough. I don't know what they're going to do. I'm sure they're like planning it out now.
Like it's not like a Christian Bale Bruce Wayne thing.
No, Batman goes like to everyone.
Yeah.
No one's ever been Iron Man before.
Yeah. No, there's been a million Batmans, even Superman. There's been a lot of been a few Supermans. So it's not
Superman.
Like this is one of those instances where, although people were scared of trying to follow up Christopher Reeves, and this is a thing where like people will be scared to death of following him up.
Yeah. I mean, and speaking of that, I mean. I'm excited for. I was excited for this, but I'm very excited for Man of Steel.
Yeah,
is that coming out again?
Like the 13th of June.
Yeah,
middle of June.
I cannot fucking wait.
It looks good.
It like literally that trailer like just gives me a sense of peace and just like not even like because of the music, just seeing Superman flying. Like there's a real. Almost like religious feeling it gives me.
religious. Superman is a religion.
Yeah, there's just a feeling that's like good.
Yeah, no, it definitely that trailer made me get chills.
Yeah, right.
I will say it's kind of impressive actually. Nolan is really good with trailers. J.J. Abrams is the best.
I think Nolan's right with him.
Nolan is right with him. I think J.J. Abrams is a little bit better only because he really just gives you so many questions. But so does Nolan. But those two are elite.
I don't know. Whoever made the trailer to Iron Man 3 might win because we all thought that the Mandarin
it's
was
true.
the villain.
No, that's actually what really raised because my expectations for Iron Man 3 were actually not that high at first. When I saw that trailer, I was like, whoa, like this is like we're getting into like you know,
crazy shit,
elite territory with trailers because I had a million questions. It looked cool. You were like, what? But you know, in the end, you know, didn't meet expectations.
I guess I guess we should give our out of 10 or out of 5.
Definitely not 5 thumbs. Jim will have a hissy fit.
Well,
very understandably.
Well, Roger Ebert didn't die again, so.
All right, so we'll do out of 10.
Yeah, out of 10 stars. What do you think, Jose?
I'd probably give it an 8.
An 8? Yeah, very high.
That is generous.
But I was happy. I was happy in the end.
Yeah.
Jared?
All right.
What is that noise?
I don't know.
I'll go with a 7. It was good.
Really?
I'm gonna go 7 good, 8 means great, 9 means superb, and 10 would be perfect.
What was Iron Man 1 and 2 for you?
Iron Man 1, I would say, is like between a 9 and a 9.5. The only thing holding it back being that final fight scene. But I would give it like a 9 because I would say 9, and then 2, probably 6.
I'll have to agree with him on that one.
Yeah, I mean it's rough.
Maybe
it's
6. I'll give the second one a 6.5, maybe.
Yeah, I would say Iron Man 1. Yeah, 9.5. Like literally, it's a near perfect movie.
Near perfect, just that. Yeah, that scene.
That one fight scene is just
rough.
Scene.
Yeah, definitely.
Iron Man
perfect.
2. I mean, I shit on it a lot, but you know, 7.58.
Yeah, you're gonna call it great.
I've watched it a lot.
I'll call it okay to. I call it okay to good. Yeah, no, I mean,
it has a replay value to it.
I judge movies based on how many. If I keep watching them, if I can keep watching them.
Oh, we'll see. For me, Iron Man 2, I did rewatch it a few times when it was in the theaters, but I do not revisit it. And if it's on FX, I change the channel. It's
just there's some scenes that are so good. A lot of scenes are so good.
There are good. Well, and I mean, the movies are obviously made fantastic.
Yeah,
the acting's amazing. Like it's not a bad movie. Like you know, some of the 2005 Fantastic Four, Daredevil, things like that. They're good, but we're just spoiled now.
I mean, and I guess this one, it's rough, man, because I feel like I enjoyed it when we were watching it, and then we during this conversation, I lowered my.
You lowered your thing. And that's exactly what happened. The opposite of what happened to me with the Avengers. I mean, I came out of it thinking about how great it was, but then when we talked about it and stuff,
it's just the greatest movie of all time.
It just kept going up and up and up, and it still goes up to this day.
It's true. I feel like watching it now.
I know.
It is hard. It is hard. We're almost in the same place Tony Stark was. Like having to recover from
the greatest movie of all time.
This to New York to Avengers. He was in the Avengers.
Yeah,
and it doesn't it's hard to follow that up.
Yeah, no. I'm not comparing it at all with that, but
but you kind of have to. It's not like you don't compare the movies, but you're like. This was an adventure that Tony Stark as Iron Man was in.
No,
and then
true.
This is an adventure that Tony Stark was in as Iron Man, and you can't the 1 and 2 don't really get the same thing because they were pre.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, that makes sense. He didn't, hadn't done that yet.
Yeah.
But you can't, you have to somewhat compare them. And I don't know. I don't even know what number-wise I'd give it right now.
I mean, in my opinion, too, anything a 7, even a 6.5 and up is worth spending the movie ticket price for.
Anyone should definitely
even 6, no. So I would say 6 and up is worth going to the movies for. 6 and below 6, 5 and below, obviously save your money.
Yeah.
But so for sure, obviously every Iron Man movie was totally worth seeing in theaters.
Yeah, I mean, I need to see it again, but as of right now, I'm gonna say 7.
7, and I mean for me, that's 7 is good. 7 is good. Like a 7.5 would be really good. 8 would be great. Mm-hmm. So I say it's good. It's a good movie.
I surprisingly, I actually went lower than Iron Man 2.
You did.
I did, and there's a reason for I was thinking about the movies, and Iron Man 2 is. like, the worst you can say about it is it's a repetitive, like it's a popcorn movie. You go, you watch things blow up. It's Iron Man.
Listen to some AC/DC.
Listen to AC/DC. You see he says some witty comments.
Yeah.
And you go, and it was a good time. This one, like I said, I have to watch it again, but it just felt confusing.
It was confusing. Yeah, no, it wasn't even that popcorn, blow up. It was confusing.
It's like they tried to do something, and I respect that, but it's like we missed out on the nice, safe Iron Man movie we should have gotten.
Yeah, no, and I mean, I respect people who don't go safe. They could have gone a little bit more safe in this case.
Like tell one of the stories.
Yeah.
I see your point there.
And, did everyone have to get in the suit?
No.
Like, the President of the United States?
Yeah,
Pepper?
I did not like that.
Pepper was fine. I like that.
Oh, there was...
The bad guy?
There is one thing I did want to bring up. So, holidays in superhero movies. I think they work very well for some superheroes.
There's no reason
they don't work well for others. This did not have to be Christmas.
No, it was
not at all.
No point.
It didn't come out by Christmas.
No, and when movies don't come out for Christmas, I really don't think Christmas works well. I think that although the movie, I did not like Batman Returns with Michael Keaton, but I think Batman at Christmas time. I didn't really.
But Batman Christmas time works.
Works perfectly. I think even Spider-Man at Christmas time works.
I guess. Have they ever done that?
No, they haven't.
They should have made it the 4th. Like, no joke, they should have made it the 4th of July. That way, the exploding suits would have made a little more sense for fireworks.
Whatever.
That was like
that'd be like he said shit was cheesy. That'd be way too cheesy.
That would be very cheesy. Like
I guess
it's even just because now this is debatable. Like what superheroes work the best with holidays?
But why? Like my point is why would it even there was no reason for it to be on Christmas.
No, and the fact that it was Christmas had nothing to do with it. Like okay, I don't know, maybe because it's Christmas, and people are on holidays. No, it was no reason at all. But why did they do that? Why did they choose to put that in the script?
I don't know. Maybe because it was a threat the Mandarin had. They were going to do it on Christmas, or it helped with the pepper thing.
It maybe provided some jokes. It was Christmas
the
time.
Big bunny, the big bunny was funny.
The big bunny was funny.
It's a big bunny. Stop, get over it or whatever. Stop focusing on it.
It's not that. Iron Man is a superhero that is neutral of holidays. I think the reason why I work with Peter Parker is because he goes to school and
he has a family,
and he has a family, and enough. Can't you just see Aunt May being like, "Make sure you're back by Christmas Eve dinner."
But yeah, I mean, totally. And I agree with you. It just to me more. It was just why?
Yeah, why? No,
it was just another element you didn't need.
You did not need it at all. No, absolutely.
It wasn't very aesthetically. You could have just had it in that town and have it snowing. It didn't have to be Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it could have been winter. I mean, because when the movie takes place in Malibu, the weather doesn't change over there for the most part. Yeah. So you have no idea other than the decorations Christmas. So yeah, you could have just definitely made it snowing. You didn't need to make it Christmas.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know.
And then they threw that little curve. That was a little thing, but now that juggle that with with the whole storyline.
Another element that it was why did we need this?
Yeah,
it was just so pointless.
So, but I don't know if there were any, and I don't know what other superheroes it would work with, but that's a little food for thought for the audience.
Yeah.
Yep. Think about what superheroes go well with
how
holidays.
How many times have they made Superman into Santa over the years? It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it is pretty ridiculous. I've seen it a few times.
He is not fat or jolly or white in the hair.
He's jolly.
He's jolly. He's nice. I wouldn't say jolly. But jolly be the word?
Yeah, he's he loves Christmas. He's a Kansas farm boy.
Yeah.
Christmas is his favorite time of the year.
Yeah.
Where everyone's nice to each other. We're supposed to be being nice to each other.
Supposed to be. The key word.
Alright. I think we should wrap up this review.
Alright.
Yep.
A solid review.
Yeah. I mean, I feel we just... If anyone does listen to this, I feel we just completely turn them off of the movie.
Yeah, our objective is to do that. We did enjoy it. Jim, you should go see it.
Yeah, I guess.
It's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's just... It was a weird choice.
It was a lot of weird choices. Have your own opinion of it,
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Definitely, I was a little...
I'm definitely going to see it again. And
without a doubt here.
Try to
Makes sense.
Yeah, try to determine my real opinion.
I don't know if I will see it again because we got Gatsby next week. Depending on how that does, I'll see it if it gets good reviews. If not,
we got a lot of good movies coming out in the next 2 months. I mean, you said Gatsby. We got Star Trek.
Star Trek is the movie that I will be.
Yeah,
I was more excited for that than Iron Man 3.
Really?
Hangover 3 is coming out soon.
True.
And that one looks so much better than Hangover 2.
Yeah, definitely.
Everything looks better than
Not that it's a movie, but we also have the long-awaited I'm Gonna Cry the Day It Happens 4th season of Arrested Development that I never saw.
It might as well be a movie.
It will be a movie. It's like a what? How many episodes are there?
I'll look it up now.
It's 15, I think.
It's 15.
So that's a 7-hour movie.
That's decent. That's decent amount of episodes. I thought that they were only going to do like 8 or 10. 15.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. Very good. Very good.
Good job, Mitch Hurwitz. Yeah, go, Mitch Hurwitz. 2 for you, Mitch Hurwitz.
And none for Caddy Herring.
No.
I wonder if our audience got that reference.
Of course they did.
I didn't.
It was Mean Girls, ladies and gentlemen. It was Mean Girls.
All right.
TV series. I want the TV series, not the psychological.
It is 15, dude.
Look.
You looked it up and told me last time.
I know, but I like looking at it. That's why I did it last time.
Oh, good lord.
Here's the thing with the people. Season 3, Season 4.
Modern day technology.
At its best.
15 new episodes, yeah.
It has been
May
triple
26th.
confirmed. May 26th. So rather, is that a Friday?
It's a Sunday.
Oh, it's a Sunday. All right. Well, so then after we see The Hangover Part 3, or in my case, Star Trek for the 3rd time, I'm calling
Star
that
Trek
right
Into
now.
Darkness Part 3.
Part 3. It's like watching Die Hard again and thinking that it's Die Hard 2, because you might as well just do that. Don't watch Die Hard 2, just watch Die Hard 1 again.
Did you hear there's the 6th installment is planned?
What?
Oh, dude, I heard
Die
that.
Hardest.
Was it? That sounds like a Family Guy show.
It
does. Or a South Park, Zookeeper.
Zookeeper, yeah.
Oh my god, that is not happening. No.
Oh, no.
No, Live Free or Die Hard was so good. And
right? Some people hate that movie. I actually
love
really like that movie.
I love it. It is. I actually like it more than 2 or a good. What was the 3rd one? Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Yeah.
I like the 4th one more than those 2.
I like mine. It kind of goes 1, 3, 4, 2. Haven't seen the new one.
Haven't seen the new. No, I heard the new one was absolutely awful.
Yeah.
Not that I like to cite Rotten Tomatoes or Metacritic, but it got below a 20 on both of those sites for the critics, so that is not a good sign. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah. I guess this is next week or next time we'll have a much better, more regular show. Better, I don't know.
And I saw 42, so stay tuned for that one. Yes, I did.
Did you like it?
You did?
Yes.
I actually do want to see that movie.
Hold on. Maybe we can spit this in quickly.
Okay.
Please do. I'm curious.
All right. It was a little slow, but I have to say, Harrison Ford. Oh my God! You do not know this is. If you didn't know it was Harrison Ford going into the movie, the man gives such a fantastic act. Performance. Thank you. It's now 2:14 a.m. So that's why I can't think of basic words like performance. But like Harrison Ford, like really did such a phenomenal job as
looks weird
the general
too, right?
manager. Yeah, he does not look like Harrison Ford.
They made him look older, right?
They made him look much older.
Even older than he already is.
I think he's like in his 70s.
He uses his different, he uses a different voice. You don't think that that's Harrison Ford. And the story is good. It's nice. It's kind of anticlimactic at the end, though.
Baseball.
Yeah,
Yeah. I was thinking about that. What is the climax? He just gets to play.
Really
he doesn't break any records. He doesn't, other than he breaks the color barrier.
It's a baseball movie. It's gonna be slow. That comes from a baseball fan. Yeah. But I mean, overall, fantastic. The acting was fantastic. I think as a period piece, they did a really good job. It's interesting because it's not told from the perspective of Harrison Ford's character or who plays Jack Rose, Jamie Foxx, right?
No.
Some kid.
Some
Yeah.
non-famous.
It's some nobody.
Some African American actor. I'm sorry. Once again, it's 2:15 a.m. I don't know.
That is so offensive.
No, he played Ray Charles.
he played Ray Charles and Django.
Yeah, they're two very different people.
Yeah. Anyway, but everyone did a fantastic acting job. But
Out of 10?
out of 10,
The critics gave that better reviews as the movie was out. Like better reviews kept coming out, so I was like, it started out iffy,
Really?
but then a lot of them rolled in towards the end. But
I'm
out of 10,
give it a 7, and the only reason it got bumped up to a 7 because, like I said, it's anticlimactic. It doesn't, the writing is okay. I mean, and the like I was trying to say before that I kind of broke down because I'm exhausted. Was the fact that it's told from a African American reporter's view from Pittsburgh who followed Jackie Robinson everywhere. It's not told.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's not told from Jackie Robinson's point of view. It's not told from Harrison Ford, who's the general manager of the Brooklyn Dodgers. It's not that. So it's a third. It's kind of like a third perspective, which is cool. Interesting. And because he's also African American, you also go through some of the racist things, and it's graphic too. There are some racial slurs that really you kind of go, as a white person, go, "Oh my god, am I allowed to hear these things? Like, am I allowed to learn these again?" What's
scary is that it was only 70 years ago, and we were still talking like that.
Well, I mean,
it was 40 years.
Django and change.
But I mean,
well, that was 150. But true.
But I mean, the movie, in terms of that, does not hold back. You will hear every single slur in the book from, very classless people who are portrayed in the movie, who got theirs in the end. But you'll watch and find out. But the reason I feel it's a 7 is because of the fantastic acting. Everyone was very believable. Like I said, very out of Harrison Ford's element. You'll be very proud of him. For those of you who like Harrison Ford,
that's good.
But we still don't know if he's going to return as Han Solo.
I think they're all. I think everyone except one of them agreed to come back.
I think even that one is still in.
Yeah, they're still not. They just. It's not that they're saying no. It's just that.
Is the guy who plays Lando?
You don't know Billy D. Williams. Come on.
He is old.
Yeah, they're all old.
Well, he's older than them, though. Like, he's much older than them.
I don't know how much. He's old. I'm not gonna.
All right, Wikipedia.
All right.
Let's end this up.
Okay.
Next week, no Jared, but we'll get our.
I might call in.
All right, yeah, we can get you to call in.
If I call in, I'll call in before the podcast.
We'll have our game.
We'll have it set up.
Billy D. Williams is 76.
All right.
Yeah, because
actually, I don't know what we're going to record because our normal day is Tuesday, and I can't do next Tuesday.
Well, we'll figure out a day.
We'll figure it out.
I might be off on Monday.
I don't have nearly as much. I don't have any homework hardly, so I'm free on nights.
All right, cool. We can figure out the logistics of this not on mic.
Yeah. All right, that sounds good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you'll get to hear you get to hear Dave's rant on Iron Man 3 because I can only imagine he hated this movie. I was actually thinking about that as I was watching. It was just like, oh, Dave is gonna hate this. So we'll get to hear that, and we'll get to yell at Alex. And Alex said that he liked it better than the Avengers. So.
Was he serious?
Oh, 100%. He didn't really like the Avengers. He said there was no story to it.
He should be strung from a fucking noose and fucking pillaged around the town.
I agree.
The fuck?
I know.
What the fuck? Well, he doesn't. He's not totally into comics.
No, he's not.
But
whatever.
That's even from a movie perspective, though. That's heinous words.
It is.
Those are heinous words.
We'll yell at him about that next week. So have a good week, everybody, and see you next time.
Bye.
Take care.
Adios.
Bye. Hello and welcome back to Just Casting. You're back here with me, Kyle.
I guess we're completely out of order today because we're down 2 members of our usual group, but Jose.
We're doing it again.
We're doing it again. We're doing it again.